Alright, today we're going to talk about Warzone 2.0, the DMZ mode. It's the new mode that a lot of people are excited for, especially people who like more player versus environment type of gameplay. And I've been playing this quite a bit. We're going to go over just some basics and some general thoughts on this. So first of all, you have your lobby here, which you'll wait for your friends if your friends are online. You can also turn squad fill on, so you'll be able to pair up with random players. Here's where your faction missions are. And right now, since this is in beta, it's basically slightly different styles of missions. So Legion is the first faction. There's no specific faction rewards that I know of yet. Next, you'll have White Lotus that you can do different missions for. That's what I'm focusing on in general. And then once you complete all of the tier 2 missions, so at the bottom of the names of these missions where it says completed, or this was uncompleted, you'll see it says tier 2. Under White Lotus it says tier 3, and then for Black Mouse it says complete the tier 2 story missions for Legion and White Lotus factions. And you unlock this one. Basically that is all how the missions work, and you have objectives like you see on the right side of the screen. Next you have your weapons tab, which is your loadout essentially. On your character in the upper left corner you have your armor plates. It can be 1 to 3 plates. You have a gas mask that you may or may not have, a kill streak, which you may or may not have, and a self-revive. The small backpack holds your keys. Here's a lot of the different keys that I have. You can have a maximum of 20 keys. If your key stash is filled, you cannot accept a mission that will reward you a key. There'll be a little warning message that pops up that says your stash is full, but if it's for a key reward and your key stash is full, that's what the warning is for. If it's for your weapon stash and you are rewarded a weapon for completing the mission but your weapon stash is full, that's what that warning will say, but it's not that clear yet in the text. So there's just various keys here. These lead to locked rooms, locked buildings, and inside those locked rooms or buildings there are a good amount of cash, usually a weapon that has 3 attachments or more, maybe some other valuable items that you could sell at the buy stations. So initially go ahead and keep a hold of these until you learn where they go. A lot of it you can look up online, and as you play throughout the game you may just find a door with a spray painted white X on it, and that will be a place where you can use a key, or you might find a toolbox or a duffel bag or such. But eventually you will want to go into the DMZ with a group of people with a few different keys for different areas and focus on getting the high valuable loot out of those areas. Next, under here you have your 2 weapon slots. Up here, your insured slot 1. This is any weapon that you've unlocked if you have, say, multiplayer or just going through Warzone if you only have Warzone. And it'll come with the level attachments and cross attachments that you have unlocked for other similar weapons. So here I can just pick whatever I want to go in with. Right here I have the Victus, and you can go into the gunsmith, and I have it set up already so you get all the attachments that you want or have unlocked so far for it, and then you'll just hit A to equip it. And then this additional slot, these are your contraband weapons. What this means is that you bring these out of the DMZ and you take them into the DMZ, but if your character dies while you have a contraband weapon, or you just leave it in the DMZ because you find something better, it'll be left behind. So this is kind of like a constantly rotating list of weapons. And generally speaking, I have found it most helpful to focus on ranged weapons and silenced weapons. So that's mainly what is collected here. And the reason for that is the only way to really easily outplay the AI is range. And you can have a sound suppressor on that helps a bit, but mainly range distance is the only way you can have a 100% advantage against the AI. Then you have your choice of tactical. Some of these, when you take whichever one of these out of the DMZ that isn't here by default, it'll grant that option to you. Say the heartbeat sensor, perhaps. The same thing with the lethals and your field upgrades. So my recommendations for these will be a smoke grenade, because the AI isn't as easily able to target you through smoke. If you pair it with a thermal, you can be inside the smoke and shoot out, but they'll be sometimes shooting at you, sometimes they won't shoot at you, sometimes they will shoot at you and hit you. Throwing knife is silenced and you can pick it up, retrieve it. Battle rage is good because it acts as a quick healing for as long as it's going on. Another good one is munitions box and trophy system, because the AI will throw lots and lots of projectiles at you. It's like playing Halo with catch on. It's a bit much. Deployable cover is a good option. DDoS is good for enemy vehicles. Those would be my main recommendations. So you go over here and you can choose your operator. Of course, there's the Battle Pass tab and then the store tab. But back at the lobby tab, I have squad fill on. But if you want to play solo, you can turn it off. It is more difficult if you play solo. And then you'll just go ahead and deploy. You'll confirm the screen of your active missions. You can change your missions if you want to. You can only progress missions which that you have or other people have the same as you. Now, let me try to word that a little better. If you and your friend have different missions, you can do things like loot a treasure box or whatever, and if that's their goal, they will get credit for it. If your goal is activate a UAV tower and your friend activates it, you will get, or your random teammate, you will get credit for that. But the best way to do it is try to match your same missions so that both people will be getting credit for even one person's actions towards their missions overall. So try to match them up as you can. If not, it's okay. You may or may not get randoms who have the same missions, and if not, just either use proximity chat to tell them what you need to do in the DMZ before you exfil, or try to use your ping system and ping certain things if that's what you're going for. Overall, if you completely wipe out with all of your stuff, like my character just has a level 1 backpack and a level 1 plate armor, then go into the DMZ with just your tactical, lethal, and field upgrade. You can acquire, just some basic stuff, exfil. Even if you're solo, just try to do it within the first 5 minutes of the match. And then you'll build up a little bit more of your items, on your character, then go back in. You're a little more well-armed and equipped, so try to build it up again. There's certain areas that you can learn where you probably will find a 3-plate vest. That's the most useful item in the game, other than the revived pistol, which you need to have equipped in your field upgrade slot to actually use it, not just on other players, but for your own character. And then a self-revive. You can have multiple self-revives and such. So definitely, if you can get a medium or large backpack, I would say hold 6 additional plates at least, and as many self-revives as you can. The weapons that you get in and out of here, generally speaking, it doesn't really matter. Again, if you find something silenced or ranged, go for it. Those are going to be your most useful ones. But if you just pick up whatever the enemies have, that generally speaking is perfectly fine. You're going to be okay just using those. But always remember, whenever you first spawn into the match and start, there are certain places that are a bit more dangerous, randomly, and then certain places that are a bit safer. So right now, since I've played this so much, I can tell we're outside of the airport. And I know where other players spawn from this point there's a chance that a team will spawn underneath that bridge. There's a chance that another team will spawn on the other side of these buildings down here, beyond the tower. And only the team here at the bridge, right here at the airport, or beyond there, can make it to the train in time when the train comes. So if you get any one of these three, you'll be able to get to that train. And you can melee the armored enemies. It takes a while. It's kind of risky to do. Here's a revive pistol, so I'm going to hit X to equip that. I'm going to hit A to stow the battle rage, and you always drop whatever you have, so I'm going to hold down to stow that battle rage. And generally speaking, this match, I'm just going to try to look for better armor, a better backpack, not too worried about the weapons at all. And not really focus on my missions yet, since my character needs some more items and stuff. And as you can see, here comes the train on the map. There are probably a team from under that bridge on that train by now. And just generally speaking, you'll just want to learn the match, learn the map. You know, be careful around the AI. There are many of them in close groupings. It's never just the one that you see. They'll always keep having reinforcements over and over and over again. And as you get closer to the end of the match, there will be more and more enemies. So it's always a bit frustrating. So, okay, I've already found, an additional vest with 2 plates. 1 plate is basically useless. 2 plates is okay. 3 plates is really what you really would want. Okay, there's a 3 plate. And a durable gas mask. You definitely want that durable gas mask. Right now, you cannot see which attachments are on a weapon that you find in the thing, in the box, so it's better to just equip it. And then go down here, and now you can see that there's 2 things. It looks like a stock and a grip. As of now, that's the only way you can really tell. So there's a self-revive. So this just has 1 attachment, that has none. So I'm going to switch over to this one with none. Pick up this. And sometimes you know, it's a little hard to pick certain things up, but again, they say it's beta, so it, you know, gives them a little leeway to fix things and fine-tune things and stuff like that. But overall, I'm enjoying it. It does have the highs and lows to where you can get, you know, defeated by other players, which I would say is a low. The most important thing to know about other players is you can hold up on the D-pad to get to the ping wheel and either invite nearby players to join your squad or request to join nearby enemy squad. Both of these work. I like to start with the invite, and it'll say this, invite sent. And if you receive an invite, you will need to go to your ping menu and move over and accept it just the same way. You could also request to join if you want to leave your team and link up with another team. I usually stick to the invite, but that's how that works. And of course, you can ping different things for your teammates, like defend, regroup. That would be like an objective. Watch this area, loot, you know, quiet, such as like that. So that's the basics of DMZ. Again, I've been enjoying it. It, you know, definitely has its frustrating moments, but just remember that all the loot that you can get that you can potentially lose is basically all free. You know, you can always come back in the match and get more. There's always going to be more 3-plate vests. There's always going to be more revives. There's always going to be more, you know, backpacks. So, you know, it can be frustrating, but try not to get too upset. You know, if you completely get wiped out, just take a few games, you know, build it back up, and then, you know, keep going on with your missions and stuff like that. So, hope you've enjoyed this basic video of some DMZ Warzone. And hopefully I'll come back with another video that'll talk more in depth about anything else. Thanks for watching. Bye.